welcome to this beautiful neck of the woods. This is eastern Tennessee, and this car is coming out about 4 miles from this. The road is totally gone. So, I don't know if you've noticed that, they call it climate change. And the climate is changing, but it isn't your carbon footprint. I mean, we are carbon-based creatures, right? All the animals are, all the trees are, the flora and fauna is all carbon-based, So trees, we didn't cut so many down. They'd be sucking up that carbon like nobody's business, right? But we're deforesting the planet, right? There's not much left of old growth. I mean, maybe 1% to 5% old growth, but the rest is just weeds, And we have moved things all around, so pretty much everybody's habitat is being invaded by invasive creatures, plants and animals. And that's called human hubris, right? We know better, right? And I'm of an age that, so this hat, right? Here, take a look at this hat, right? So I've had this sepia hat forever, but this is my third generation of it. But see all these buttons, right? These are all things that I was involved in, right? That were valid political movements, right? But people and things kind of took them over for their own self-aggrandizement. And that movie, Forrest Gump, what was great about that movie is that movie reconnected. So Forrest Gump was a great movie, and that gave a really great perspective of where we were and where we are, right? And the difference of history and nostalgia, right? So the first scene in the movie is a crane shot in, wherever that nice southern, plantation house with white columns, right? And it's a high up crane shot into the front yard, past the stream. There's a pond, there's the woods, there's the fields, and it's here. And it's like God's looking down, right? And all you hear is the insects and the birds and such as that. And that's what I have here, right? And there's right now, the county road there is destroyed, so very few cars are on it, right? But they're still on it, It's quite amazing. So, Forrest Gump opens with that scene, and a feather kind of floats into the frame, right? And as it's in the frame, right, all you're hearing is the buzzing of the birds and a stream maybe and a frog once in a while, and then the feather goes out of the frame, and then you hear a slap and of a baby being born, and then the music, right? Cue the music, right? And we get the front end of the film, right? Tap to try, retry. So I don't know why it's being ornery, but it doesn't matter. So, but we're out in the middle of nowhere, and we're just hanging off a string of the Wi-Fi that's up there on the satellite dish, right? It's not coming in off the wire. What is that noise? Someone's moving something. Yeah. Anyway, so we have our own fish to fry, right? And here it is, 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm going to talk for about another 5 minutes. Anybody shows up, that'd be good. If they're not, I'm going to move on to my next adventure. But it's a really dynamic situation, right? And what we're doing with it. So anyway, I just wanted to see, oh, there's one person out there, what I really want of this show. And I'm, toying with the idea of going and spending the winter with John. But, I was trying to play a phone call I had with him the other day, and that's what I'd have to deal with, right? And then he'd probably throw me out in the middle of winter, and I have no money. So I told him that I'd only go there if, one, he wouldn't throw me out, two, that we would make some interesting videos together, because we do have a dynamic. That's, the only time he really hit, 70, 80, 100,000 views was when we did a thing together. And that's why he kept throwing me out and bringing him back in, because he hated people, telling him to shut up and just let me tell a story. And then, and then he'd throw me out, and then people would give him a hard time, and then he'd beg me to come back, right? And he promised me all kinds of stuff, but not really. But he's in his, see, he has, he doesn't have multiple personalities. He just plays multiple characters, right? And when he does this, he's on the edge of being multiple personalities, but the multiple characters allow him to do things that he normally wouldn't do. When he plays Jimmy, he's that little kid who doesn't know better and steals and lies and cheats and does terrible things. But he's a little, he's Jimmy, right? And then there's the old Italian guy, the black guy. He's got at least 20 characters, which if he really were to develop into a show would be unbelievable, but he doesn't, right? And me, I do my stream of consciousness. I just kind of tell you a story and talk to you about stuff, and maybe you get interested and we have a conversation, right? So I've done enough of that, right? And so whether I have to weather another winter here, which the last one wasn't so bad except for about 3 weeks where it was like at least 20 degrees below zero, but it felt like 60 degrees below zero. And again, my friend came and got me, and I spent a week or two in his house, and then it got warm, and then I went back and spent the rest of the winter. And by that time, it was March, and we were heading into spring, so it wasn't that bad. At the deep green, early spring to early winter is not bad, but there's about a 6-week period that can be pretty murderous. And if the electricity goes off, I end up as a popsicle, dead, which is fine by me. I enjoy life. I love being interactive with people. I love serving God's needs, right? I have no idea what I'm doing. I just get put into situations and I do my best. I'm not perfect. I don't strive to be perfect. I basically am my best, period, right? I don't get involved unless I can be my best. I don't get involved unless I see a workable exit strategy to get the innocent folk out of harm's way. I don't get involved unless I can change the situation to the more positive. I don't get involved unless I can learn something that makes things better. So those are my guardrails, and everyone should have them. Not, their own, right? And that one works pretty good for me. So anyway, it's now, what is it? 9 minutes or something like that. I have no idea what it is, but nobody's there. And when it's 10 minutes and 10 seconds and no one's here, well, there's one person there. You going to say something? You going to jump in? The last show I did about an hour ago, or maybe an hour and a half ago, was pretty good. And I got about, a lot of people watching, right? Maybe 20, 30 on the, live side of the show, right? Now I'm doing these shows off my my little phone, and normally I do it off my laptop, which has a lot more bells and whistles, and I know how to drive it. And my phone, not so much. So I barely get a thing in there, right? And so that's why every time, I mean, when I set this thing up, I say, public, and every time I hit the, save, and then I start the show, it comes out private, and then I have to go back and rejigger it to be public, and it's okay by me, but it has its issues, right? So okay, 11:11, right? We passed the 10:10 point. But we're in a the new normal, the new neo insane clown party normal, and Donald Trump's going to win by a big margin. And ooh baby, and he's being put in there to do what he's going to do, and it's going to be. And Joe Biden, are you? Do you take responsibility for what our country does? And what it has done since the day Christopher Columbus showed up, and it's no one wants to look at history, and history is a thing you shouldn't even want to look at because it's a lie. But if you go take it apart, psychosocial, cultural, forensically, anthropologically, you can get a good seeing what's going on, and that's what my career has been for 40 years, right? As a itinerant scholar, right? People pay me to do that, which is great. I mean, they pay me really well. I was put into situations that I could help people, and I got a perspective that most people didn't have, right? So, that's what it is. And that's where I'm at. And I'm going to go now. Okay? Okay. You could have, we were live chat. So, right. So, anyway. So I'm going to go. Bye. Okay.